Well, I think the thing I love most about our films is that, well, for one thing, it's very fun to create and work there, and you spend a lot of hard work and many years developing the characters and stories, but the most satisfying part is just releasing them to the world and seeing how others appreciate them. Of course, when you work on something so closely, you're not always aware how it's going to be received, but thankfully most of our films have been received very well, and it's just exciting to see it be introduced to the world and see the smiles that it puts on everyone else's faces. And I think that's the thing for me that means the most about our films, just that we get to work very hard on them and then share them with the world. I see one here that the first film actually that I worked on at Pixar was Monsters Incorporated. And this is a film that's very dear to me because it was the first film that I worked on at Pixar. And I just, I was new to the studio and I spent a lot of hard hours, many hours late at night working, trying to prove myself as an artist and also just trying to do the best work possible. And it was this movie that introduced me to how Pixar makes films. And 20 years later, almost 20 years later, I'm still there at the studio, but this one is very special to me because it was my first. Keep drawing and just always find your passion. I think drawing is just one part of what we do. I think the other part that people sometimes forget about is when you draw, you're actually drawing from within and from your experiences. So I think just to observe the world and the place around you, always strive to learn and research. The great thing about working at Pixar as long as I have is that every film is different and requires a unique angle or take. So after one film is finished, I have to almost retool my brain and think of a new way of looking at the world through a new character, a new story, just a new point of view. And so always, I think, just refreshing your brain and always having an open eye, looking at the people around you, talking to people, observing them, just sort of, be an observer. I think that's the most important tool that you can have as an artist, not just at Pixar, but anywhere in the world. I'm Albert Lozano from Pixar Animation Studios. I just love the work done on this box set. I wish it was coming out in the US because I would buy one myself. Even though I've seen these films so many times, I would just love to have this collection in my library. It's done so well. I just love the design, and I love just, them all in one box, and it's just such a great presentation. It's something that I would want to give to my family and friends at home. Having worked on all these films, I have to say that a wonderful job was just done by this group in putting this box collection together. So please go out and grab yourself a copy.